all right. Giving all praise to God. You my brother and sister. This Pastor Mark, it's just good. Just to be here. It's just good. In spite of the frustration, our culture sin and pushing things, let God come in. I mean, God is just good. God may not show up when we want to, but He always on time. Him all right with me. I'd like to go in this morning to Genesis, the 18th chapter, beginning with the 9th verse. That's the verse in the first one. Genesis, the 18th chapter, beginning with that 9th verse. Now, time is spent. I'm holding on. Genesis, the 18th chapter, beginning with that 9th verse. And begins to read it as follows. And they said unto him, where is Sarah, your wife? And he said, behold, in the tent. And he said, I will certainly return unto thee according to the time of life. And lo, Sarah thy wife shall have a son. And Sarah heard it in the tent. She's being always, which was behind him. Now Abraham and Sarah were old and well stricken in age. And it ceased to be with Sarah after the manner of woman. Therefore, Sarah laughed within herself, saying, after I am waxed old, shall I have pleasure? My Lord, being old also. And the Lord said unto Abraham, wherefore did Sarah laugh, saying, shall I of a surety bear a child, which I am old? Is anything too hard for the Lord? I want to talk about this morning the thought of impossible made possible is funny. The thought of impossible made possible is funny. You may be seated. If you really want a good laugh, you don't have to look at cartoons. If you really want a good laugh, you don't have to catch all the Tyler Perry's plays. If you want a good laugh, you don't have to look at the pains. Just open your Bible, and I could show you some things that man laughed about. In life today, we are dealing with some situations. Our health, our income, our family issues, our children, our relationships with husbands and wives. And we sit back and we think about this situation going on time and time again, has been going on for a long time, that we came to the understanding that this situation will not change. So instead of getting mad at it because it won't change, instead of being disgusted about it's not going to change, we just sit back and laugh. Have you ever told someone, don't do this, don't do that, and you look around and you find them looking at and doing exactly what you told them not to do, and you look at them when they get hurt, and you sit back and you laugh at them. I told you don't stick your hand in the fire. And you laugh at them. Because after all, you realize there's nothing they could have done about it. You told them they still did something different and did what they wanted to do, and it seemed to be funny. You know, we're worried about, our finances. Some of us right now are worried about come Tuesday. If my check is going to be in my account. An impossible situation, because what makes it impossible is we can't do anything on our own behalf to change it. Right. If they decide not to let the Social Security checks go on the 2nd or the 3rd, there's nothing we can do about it. Impossible situation. Possible. Knowing that my rent has to be paid, knowing my light bill is due, knowing I need some groceries. All you can do is sit back and instead of crying is laugh. Because there's nothing to be done about it. I looked at this story on last week by the time I just thought about it, that the focus has always been on Abraham, what God done for Abraham, Abraham's faith in God. And I looked at the situation, and I never had read in the Bible that someone actually laughed at a statement in which God had made. But when you analyze her situation, you look at her age, and you find out that if you look at her and you look at her age, in man's eyesight, even her own, it is impossible for her to conceive a child. Now, realize now, she's 90 years old at the time, and she said her Lord, her man, her husband, her boo, he's 100. So when you look at them as a couple and you look at the reproductive system between the both of them, you'll find out just through natural life, nothing is there. I can love you, I can hug you, but nothing else is there. And you go back and look at the story when Adam and from Abram first, when God had made him a promise and a covenant with Abraham, the name will no longer be Abram, it will be Abraham, father of the nation. And you talking to me on that aspect of how am I now 100 years old and now I'm going to be the father of the nation, and the child I have is by another woman. Are you going to bless me through him? Because you're trying to fix that situation. Yeah. He has to go see one of the handmaids. I want to help God through our situation to make things possible. When they say they can't do it, we going to find Bubba, and Bubba going to tell you how to do it. So therefore, that's what Abram and Sarai did at first. Before her name became Sarah, her name was Sarai. So it shows that God has to make a transformation in everything before he can move forward. God don't take no junk in the next phase. So after that didn't work properly for them, God came back to Abraham and said, look here, you're going to be the father of the universe. If you go back to the 17th verse, you'll find out that Abraham thought it was quite funny himself. That he even laughed at the statement in which God made, but moved it to the fact of the thought of, maybe he's talking about Ishmael is going to move into that spot. That I may make me famous, or they make me father of the nations through Ishmael. He said, no. Stop trying to think on God's level. He said, your wife, Sarah, will conceive you a son if you think about it. If you analyze it, you'll find out that just don't add up. The doctors have told us some things after evaluating, showing us the chart on our blood pressure, our sugar, our cholesterol, our blood cell count, our white blood cell count. After showing us all about us, they look at us and say, you just not gonna make it. It just don't look good. I don't really understand how you're making it right now. And after you evaluated that same situation, and you'll find out it's so hard for you to get up in the morning. It's so hard for you to move around throughout the day. Your eyesight is getting dim. Your mind don't tend to remember some of the most important things is to remember. And you look at that evaluation, and you look at what the doctor said, and you'll find out you have a point. This is an impossible situation, so I might as well accept the fact and die right now. We analyze it, we evaluate it. When the mailman comes and brings us those stack of bills, and we look at our income that we have available, and we look back at the stack of bills, and we find out that our income just don't match up to our expenses, and we realize then we are in an impossible situation. I'm not going to make it. The thought haven't came into existence yet, but the thought, the reality process, I'm looking at myself right now. And the way it looks. I'm dealing with an impossible situation. After weighing it all out, I understand my health is bad. I can't do nothing about that. I'm taking all the medicines that they could give me. Some prescriptions I just get a half fill because I don't have the finances to get the whole prescription. After figuring it out and weighing it out, I realize that I'm right now just on some borrowed time because I can't see my way through it. So instead of worrying about it, instead of crying about it, I just look at my situation and laugh. Have you ever looked in the mirror and just laughed at yourself? Have anybody ever just looked in the mirror and just laughed at your own self? I'm not talking about in the mirror looking at yourself, talking about it, thinking about how gorgeous you are, how pretty you are. I'm talking about just look in the mirror at yourself, evaluate your life situation, and you look at yourself and find out, ain't nothing there. Have you ever just looked at yourself, analyze the situation, and you find out there's no help, there's no hope. I've done everything I could do. And Sarah said she had done everything she could do. And still find herself without a child. But the focus of the sermon this morning is not based on Sarah having a child. It's based on our thought process, not having a thought by saying that